Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It's Buns. Welcome back to the road to Gladiator. I gotta keep it quiet tonight. Family is asleep, but I wanted to put out this video tonight. This is the first segment I'm going to do of this new series I'm adding to the road to Gladiator. In popular demand from a lot of your guys' feedback and something that I wanted to introduce into the series, tonight we're going to be doing our first reflection. Now, as part of the road to Gladiator, my personal end goal for PvP is to this season push for Gladiator title in World of Warcraft 3v3 arenas. That's my personal goal, and I think it's good for anyone that is playing in PvP to have a goal. Now, it's also important to, at times, go back and check how are we doing on that goal, what have we learned so far, what can we get better at, and kind of evaluate like our experience so far. And this is something that I had to figure out how I wanted to do this type of video, because as you guys know, a lot of you guys probably found this channel from my name not number speech. And my name not number speech, I talk about how rating is irrelevant, right? At every single point in the game, every single rank 1 gladiator that there has ever been in World of Warcraft has always started at 0 rating. People start up from the ground up. So I got a lot of comments in the YouTube channel asking for people to, hey Buns, can you show us your rating? What's going on with you? We want to be a part of the journey. And I understood where they were coming from too. And I was like, well, how do I find this middle ground to be able to not only keep my beliefs and help keep you guys on the right track, to be able to keep your mindset right, but also take us along this experience. And this is what this video is going to capture. Now, every couple of weeks, I'm going to do a little bit of a reflection and talk about how my last couple of weeks have gone, in and out of game a little bit as well too, just to kind of evaluate. That's life. You got to be able to have that balance as well too. So tonight, I want to start by looking at some of the pros and cons of my journey so far. So some of the positive things, the thing that I'm the most happy about out of everything has been my opportunity of meeting so many different people. And this extends beyond people that I have just played with, which has been crazy. I ended up putting out the name not number video, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago when I first launched this whole thing on the YouTube channel, and it just, it really has blown up. I mean, you can't make this up, and it's really crazy. And the astonishing thing to me is, I will tell you as someone that's literally going through the process, that I felt really fucking uncomfortable putting my name out there and being like, man, you know, I'm going to put myself out there for people to judge me. You know, this is something that I'm personally uncomfortable with, but I've been trying to push myself to do things that I'm uncomfortable with because it usually ends up having a lot of meaning for you later down the line. Trying to push yourself to do things that are uncomfortable are good because you put yourself in circumstances that are worth something, right? So I put this video out, you know, a few weeks ago, really not knowing how people were going to take it, and I got a lot of positive feedback. And really the ultimate goal for me for that video was not only to get my opinion on the subject about rating, but also to meet people with similar opinion, because that's how I feel about it, and it's going to meet people with similar like minds that I can play with. And that blew my mind. There were so many people that actually added me. It was unbelievable. I met so many people over the last couple of weeks, and I've been playing with a lot of different people, and it's been a really crazy experience. And from someone, you know, my first few weeks of using or playing Endgame, I was using Group Finder, and I told you guys in that video, you know, it's just not a good system, and it's not really the fault of the people that play the game, and it's not really even to blame Blizzard for having that type of system in place, but the way the World of Warcraft culture is now shifted is that everyone has this number tag above their head, and that's how you find and meet people, which is like literally like the opposite of what you should be looking for in World of Warcraft. I'm fortunate enough to come from a background where I played 19 competitive battlegrounds at lower level, and there was no rating whatsoever, which was really good. That was something I really loved about 19 battlegrounds, is that there was no rating. There was no bullshit number in front of people's heads to be like, oh, I have a huge dick. Oh, you want to measure my dick compared to my dick? There just wasn't there. All right. You looked at actually how good was the person, how well did they work with other people, like all the essentials, right? And the reason that I bring this up, on top of the fact that I already have a video out about it again, is because I've been kind of going through that experience again as well too. And you got to find people that just have the same goals and experiences as you. And I've been fortunate enough to throw myself kind of out into the water with my life vest, but you know, I ended up meeting a lot of people along the way, and now we have a little raft of people on life vests, I guess. That was the weirdest metaphor I've ever made up, ever, but whatever. Fuck it, go with it anyways. I met a lot of very cool people that I've been playing with over the past couple of weeks. We've been trying out a lot of different comps with a lot of different people. I've been meeting people along the way too, and I'm starting to feel, you know, some of the people that I'm getting to know better and play with on a more consistent basis, which is cool. And that's something that I want to highlight. So for those of you guys that are struggling with this inevitable, I feel, inevitable situation where you're rolling upon, oh man, you know, I have a goal for myself that I want to achieve rating-wise, you got to make sure that you're keeping your head clear about the number. And this is why a lot of the time in my videos that I don't talk about this and I don't answer comments about it, because I feel very passionately about it, that you got to look for the characteristics, you got to look for the goals, and you got to get to the essentials, right? The number will come once you get those things out of the way, but it is literally everything that the numbers are relevant, right? So what should you look for? Well, I've been meeting a lot of really cool people, and the first thing that I'm going to suggest to you from my journey so far is put yourself out there to meet people, whether or not it is a subreddit such as /r world of PvP. That's been a great subreddit that I've been posting a lot of content to, and there's a lot of really friendly people there. There's definitely a few assholes, and I don't know, just like any place in the world, but there's a lot of really friendly people there, and you'll end up meeting people. You can also try your luck out on the World of Warcraft forums or trade chat, or heck, you could do what I did and literally just make a video about it and talk about it. Get yourself out there. Put yourself out there to meet people with similar goals, and you're going to end up having a very good time because you're going to meet people with the same goals and same agenda. And this is what I'm going to say to you too. The biggest focus is try to get to know the people you're playing with. And that sounds really silly, right? Because it depends what your goal is, right? I mean, you could have a very different goal than mine. Like my goal is kind of objective based. Like I do want to reach a title. I do want to reach a number rating at the end of the day for World of Warcraft. My goal is to get Gladiator. You may have a completely different goal at the end of the day. And this is something that I addressed earlier too, where it's like, you may be playing the game once a week and you just want to play with your buddies, and that's fucking awesome. More power to you. There's tons of different stuff, tons of different rhymes and reasons for why people are playing. Find people that are going to make you happy and that you enjoy playing with. Now, for those of you guys pushing for rating or pushing for a certain number, this is going to apply more to you. And I'm going through this as well too. Try to get to know the people that you play with. You're going to spend time with them, you know, find out if you like playing with them, if you like them as a person, what do you have in common. It sounds really silly, but I think that the number standpoint of the whole process gets people like so far away from what actually needs to happen, like human being wise, for everything to be a success, right? Because today, this is a little bit off topic, but this is one of the main reasons actually today that I wanted to make this video, even though I have to be a little bit quiet and restrain myself a little bit because people are sleeping in my house. But I ended up today watching more baseball than I have watched the entire year. I would lie to you if I said that I love watching baseball. I grew up playing baseball. I was very good at it. It is a boring fucking game. Really fucking boring. But for the city of Chicago, tonight was a really big deal. The Cubs were up 3-2 to play into the World Series, and tonight they did get the win. Now, that's awesome, but the thing that was awesome to me more than anything when I was sitting there watching the game is just watching everyone in the crowd, man. You're talking about, like, there's so much energy, there's so much emotion going into it. It was just so much raw people, passion, and energy going into it that I was just like, wow. I mean, it's not just the team themselves, but it's also the people in the stand. They're just sitting there. It's like, I was getting the chills watching people because there's just so much raw emotion. It meant so much for the city, and it meant so much for the people and the relationships they had. You know, you could see people there that were 80 years old crying, you know. They've just been waiting for this day to happen. It was such a momentous thing for them. So many family relationships. And without carrying on too far into a rant, as I already am, the reason why I talk about this a little bit is the accomplishments that you're going to make in anything in life. But in this case scenario, let's relate it to World of Warcraft. Yes, there are always going to be huge titles and big objectives or cash or whatever incentive you get for doing, you know, whatever in the game or in your job or in your life. There's going to be an end goal, but it's always about the people that you meet along the way, the people that you go through the journey with, the people that help you get there along the way. And this is something that through my first few weeks of playing that I kind of had this weird off and on balance shift with. I was like, oh, okay, you know, I've been playing so many games, and don't kid yourself, I've been playing so many fucking games. Some people give me a hard time. They'll come into stream and they'll be like, Buns, why the fuck do you have like 900 games played and you're only like 1900 rating? I'm like, it just is what it is, man. I'm playing, I'm trying out different things, I'm trying out other people, and you gotta do that, man. You gotta be okay to put yourself in a situation if you want to meet people. So the thing that I want to encourage you is to put yourself out there to meet people and then and embellish in it, get to know the people. And this doesn't mean that you have to love everyone that you're playing with, but that's the process that you should be going through to find the people that you end up loving playing with. And this is something that I'm going through, and I've definitely already met a few people that I had not known prior that I'm already really good friends with, and I've been having a great time playing with them. Very cool experience, and I wanted to throw this out there for you guys because remember, at the end of the day, that it's the people that you go through, going through the whole process. It's the people that make it memorious and that make it joyful and bring all the emotion to it, right? When you think about it, like, you could have the, like, looking at the World Series, the Cubs could just win, right? And it could just be something that you see on a newspaper, right? But it doesn't really give any meaning. It's always the faces of people. It's always who brought that dream to a reality, right? And that's what I want to make clear to you guys. Try to find people that you enjoy playing with. And I know I went out there a little bit on the World Series thing, and some of you guys might not give a shit, and I completely understand. But it is something that is relatable, and I threw it out there because you just feel the raw energy of an entire city just banking on the emotion of the people playing and all the weight they put in. Very cool. Now, we're going to talk about some pros and cons in the game as well, too. So, going into that as well, too, I think this is extremely important, and it's equally, if not more important, depending how you weigh it, good to look at as well, too. So, objectively on top of the fact that, you know, I'm surrounding myself with good people, I'm getting to know people I play with, I'm finding people that I love playing with and enjoy playing with, I have been also trying to work on, well, okay, what's going well for me in the games, what can I improve on, but what am I doing a good job at? And it's good to have a good balance of both, because if you sit there and just like hark on yourself the whole time, you're just going to get like a really negative like whirlpool and just go like, just go down. That's like not healthy, right? You need to see both sides of the coin. So I always like to talk about positives first, negatives, and then try to bounce it back to like, what are my goals? So positives so far, I've been really happy about my communication playing. Now, this is kind of going to be funny to something I'm going to bring up in a second here, but the biggest thing for me is I've been playing a lot of games. Like I said, I've played almost like 900 games or something like that, ridiculous already, in 3v3 arenas. That's how you get better. You play games, get the experience, get the practice, try out different comps, try out with different people. That's how you learn. You can sit there and watch streams as much as you want, and to some degree, yeah, you are going to learn things, but you're not going to get that in-game experience or that real-life experience when you need to actually be thrown into the situation, use your keybinds, be able to talk, go through the whole process, right? You can't just have all of the knowledge and then jump into the situation. That's just not how life works. You have to actually put yourself into situations, and that's been something that I've been happy with. I've been throwing myself into situations where I haven't been before. Arenas is very new to me. I did play a few expanses ago with a few buddies that I played with in Missa Pandaria. It was a lot of fun, but it's been a while since I've actually done anything serious arena-wise, so this has been relearning a lot of abilities, especially with a lot of classes that got completely revamped, like Demonology Warlocks. The reason why I did that video the other day is because I personally had no idea what the hell was going on with Demonology Warlocks, so I went back and talked about it because I thought not only could I benefit from it, but probably everyone else could love hearing that conversation because they now know what the spells are doing. So that's good. Go into situations and enjoy the people that you're with, get into the games, and communicate. And I think one thing that I've been doing a good job at is being good at communicating. Now, the counterpart that I was going to say to that, which is something that I can improve on, is sometimes I feel that I can help set my teammates up for communication if they're struggling. Now, this is something really weird, and I would not be able to talk about this unless I had an incredible amount of experience playing Battlegrounds. But you kind of give your partners like impromptu cues is a base way to put it. So from a battleground perspective, I would play flag carrier, and a lot of times I would have to work with my hunters and my rogues to track down the enemy FC and kill him. So I would prompt my hunters to go off at ramp at certain times or ask them questions, be like, is the FC on roof? Where is this person? You can do the same thing in arenas. Ask your partner's question like, hey, do you have full sheeps? Can you get full sheeps on this guy? Can you stun this guy for me? Do you have defensive cooldowns for me? So sometimes this is a little bit of ownership on myself, is that I want to help in-game, in an in-game situation, help on the fly if we're in a tough situation, get my partners going and get the momentum going so that they can get in the energy as well too, and it becomes a more fluent and fluid conversation between all of us. But sometimes you do need to help your partners out and jump in that if they do need a little bit of a nudge, you know? And sometimes I get in that situation too. Maybe I'm not talking. It's always nice to have someone there that can give you a little bit of a nudge and be like, hey man, let's go. I got your back. Let's jump into it. So that's something that I personally want to get a little bit better at. Now, the second thing that I have been happy about is, like I said, I've played an inordinate amount of games and I have a lot of knowledge. But another thing that I want to get better at is, now that I have all this knowledge, sometimes I ask my partners too much, hey, you know, what should we be doing against this? Because I kind of want to know what's comfortable for them. But in a lot of times, like, I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, okay, I understand how to attack this comp. I need to let my partners know this is the game plan we should have going into it, because I just probably have the most experience out of most people that I've been playing with. Excuse me. And that's not like to degrade anyone or anything like that. I've just played a lot of games this expansion so far. So I do have a lot of practice and I have a lot of experience. So being able to have that confidence and go out there and say, hey, you know, this is how we attack this comp. Let's do it this way. If it doesn't work, we can make adjustments after the game and look at it there. But this is something that I want to get better at, is kind of asserting myself to help our team do better by getting a game strat before the game and encouraging people in the game to improve as well too. Now, currently, I've been playing a lot of different comps. Just to name a few off of the top of my head, I've played Rogue Mage Paladin, I played Rogue Mage Druid, Rogue Mage Priest, I played Rogue DK Priest, Rogue DK Mistweaver, I've played Scooby-Doo, which is Ret Assassination Mistweaver, and there's a lot more comps than that, but I'm going to leave it at that because I realize it's already going on to a list at this point. I've been playing a lot of different classes, a lot of different comps with a lot of different people, and that's good. And this is something that I want to encourage for you too. Do that. Play as many different comps with as many different people. Throw yourself into situations that are uncomfortable and challenge yourself to do the best that you can and help be a part of that movement. For when you're in the game, get to learn how the comp works. Get a feel for how you guys do against different comps. Get a feel for the people that you're playing with. It's all good. And I think especially at the start of an expansion, for anyone that's really looking to jump into PvP, it's super important that you are, you know, sitting there looking like, okay, you know, I'm going to go into this wanting to learn. I want to do well, but my objective is to learn and get better. Wins or losses, I want to take things from the game, see what went well, and see what we can do differently depending how the games go. Which, I mean, sounds really cliche, but you should have that mindset as opposed to, oh, you know, I had a bad day today, I dropped 50 rating. Well, you know, if you drop 50 rating, but you learn some things that you can take on to the next day, I would consider that a positive, which sounds a little bit weird. So, like, if you look at it, like, really objectively, and your goal is a number at the end of the season, then, yeah, it's going to suck a little bit that you lost 50 rating. But if you learn some things, and then the next time you play that comp, you're like, oh, this is how we handle RMD. You know, if the druid gets out of control, we got to make a hard swap onto him and punish him for using cyclones. Just little things like that, right? Pick up the little things and it'll help you win games along the line, which will give you more in-game experience, and it'll also help your partners out as well too, to be a part of your collaboration when you get into a game, you having that knowledge for having had played that game, which goes back to play a lot of games. Put yourself out there to learn. That's the whole point of the game. Learn and have fun. I don't want to cut this, I don't want to make this too much longer, guys, but this is our first reflection that I wanted to do, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to approach it in a way that I thought was objective, fun, and kept you guys kind of in the same loop for how I'm thinking, and also giving you guys like a little bit of an insight for how I'm thinking and how I'm working too, because I'm not perfect. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I'm playing at like 1900 rating. I'm still happy about it because I'm happy about all the people I've been playing with, and it kind of given me a different range for how different comps can do, how I'm doing with different people as well too. And that's cool. You got to throw yourself out to be a part of that. So I would encourage you guys, don't get discouraged by wins and losses. Don't get discouraged by what your rating is at the beginning of the season. And I can understand that coming in from a first perspective going through it. It can hurt at first, but try to look at, you know, for me personally, I stream a lot. YouTube is very new for me. Very, very new. I just started a few weeks ago really actively posting, and when I play my games during the afternoon when I'm streaming, for me, it's always essential to remember it's like, no matter what, if I'm having a good or a bad day, in the arenas and how our games go, that doesn't really matter for me. Like, the thing that matters is the people that I'm playing with, the people that I enjoy spending time with. And it's just been crazy not only to see how many people I have met through Real ID and some of the videos and putting myself out there to meet people to play, but on top of that, it's been absolutely crazy to see how many of you guys have actually come from the YouTube channel and said hello on stream. It's really cool. And I mean, I can't speak on that enough. It really is a huge positive for me. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. So it's been a huge positive for everyone that's been a part of that. It's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a cool experience. I'm excited for where it is now, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go into the future. So kind of to recap, this is my personal reflection, my personal objectives and goals. Now, some of the goals that I want to make, finally, to kind of wrap it up, some of the goals that I want to make going into the future is I want to get better at prompting my partners when I'm in a game. If I feel like even if I'm communicating well and doing my part and sharing the abilities that I'm doing, sometimes I can maybe help prompt my partners to talk a little bit more. And I think that that's probably my biggest goal, along with some of the other ones I talked with, but that's going to be the one that I'm mainly focusing on going up in the next coming weeks. Now, I wanted to do this process to give you guys not only like insight on what I'm doing, because I like being transparent, but that's part of the journey. You guys can come on it with me, but also helpful for you guys so that if you guys are in the same situation as I am and you're trying to push rating, go back and kind of evaluate where you are at. Because I will tell you honestly, like I've had, a little bit of an up and down week just with family stuff going on. It's been a crazy week here, and on top of playing and streaming a lot, things can get hectic, and it's good to be able to go back and be like, you know what was fun for me this week? What did I have a good time doing? Because if you didn't have a fun time playing whatever you're doing, that's not good. And you need to look for like, okay, what can I do to make that experience better? How can I have a positive experience? And for me, that has been talking with people on stream, talking to people I'm playing with, just having that energy there and that community feeling. That is what is important for me, and that's why I am embellishing you guys and encouraging you guys when you guys are playing with people. Remember, try to learn about the people you're playing with. Get to know them. That's what's going to make the game fun for you guys and have a better experience for not only while you're playing now in the future, getting to know people better and just being more comfortable around your partners, but those are going to be the memories that you have, later in life when you can go back and look at the game and be like, you know what, like, wow, I loved playing with this guy. He was a main reason why I continued playing with this person. He or she, whatever. It's a big part of the game, and I think a lot of times that people forget that. So I spent a lot of time talking about this game, or I spent a lot of time talking about it on this podcast, rant, whatever you want to call it at this point. But it is really important to me, and I thought that it's something that gets highly overlooked when people are playing in video games. So I wanted to throw it out there to you guys for when you guys are self-reflecting and looking at how you're doing. Keep that in mind, man. The people are what make the game fun, not the game itself, all right? I am going to wrap it up here. This was a longer rant, but I really wanted to get all of my thoughts on the table because I think it is important that you guys can see into my thoughts, into my process. And I thought that doing it in this style with a reflective look at it and kind of setting up some goals, things that went well, things that went wrong, and some goals going into the future is a really good and objective way to go about it, with keeping our goals about the people and the game itself and not the number. You want to keep that focus while you're trying to progress in rating. It's super important, and you're going to have a better time playing, and you're going to have better success because you're going to be focusing on the essentials rather than your number. All right, dudes? I'm exhausted. I'm going to go to bed, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Really big shout out to everyone that's been a part of this whole journey so far, whether you're someone that I've played with, whether you are someone that's been supportive on YouTube, Reddit, WoW forums. It's just been really cool to see how much of a, positive experience it's been for myself. You guys giving off great feedback, and also the reversal as well too. Seeing you guys really enjoy the series is awesome. I love waking up every day and seeing all the positive comments. It's great. I'm really excited about it. So I will catch you guys on the next video, or I will catch you guys on the live stream during the afternoon, twitch.tv/Fearthebuns. I'm out, dudes. Have a great night. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Buns. Welcome back to the Road to Gladiator. Today, I'm going to do an Arena Raw footage. We're jumping into a 3v3 game that I played with my buddies Zips and Lucas, and this game was absolutely